Hey, RetconRaider here, with special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Dragon Matrix 7, Mathew Smith, Revenant, Alois, Drakiith, Erie V23, EgonAlter, Emile, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Nathan Welch Jr., RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Pathfinder Through the Ashes, as today we orchestrate a daring escape. Or stage a daring escape? I suppose either would work. Now, last time we stopped right before this lever and pulley puzzle, and there aren't really any clues or anything, so we're just going to have to brute force this. Basically, we just have to send one of our party members around the room, while the other works the various levers to raise and lower the platforms. So, you know, not quite what I speculated last time, but close.
No time for standing around.
My assumption, because I was only looking at it from one angle, was that we had to actually create an elevated platform running perpendicular to the entry tunnel, which we would then cross from a different location. Of course, there's no real rhyme or reason. You just work through various combinations until you find the right one. I will say, logically, this puzzle does kind of bother me, because there's no real reason for them to have had these perfectly placed platforms attached to a weirdly positioned lever system just off of this room that just happens to have inexplicably collapsed in the perfect way. Normally, when you run into a puzzle in Wrath or Kingmaker, there is a fairly good reason for why the puzzle exists, even if it's just a noble concealing their riches or something. But I mean, this is like a second-rate, run-down theater.
The mission must be carried out.
Even if you did argue that the room collapsed some time ago and they built this system to help them navigate it. Why install a bunch of levers and pulleys to help them do that? Why not just lay the platforms down in the first place? Or just board over the whole room? I mean, both of those would have been more practical solutions than creating a complex series of levers and ropes.
I serve the Crusades, strange as it sounds.
It's a minor quibble, but just something I was thinking about while I was fussing with all these levers. Alright, let's see what our prize is. Hey, a healing potion. And a second crossbow that we don't need. And a rope. We will absolutely take that. I mean, logically, you'd think we could also harvest rope off of these weird platforms, but
Using clever tactics now.
Probably best not to think about that. Hey, 5 hit points. We will take that. Now let's go check out that large room we passed earlier. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and try our luck with this chest. There's no guarantee we're going to come back this way once we secure our exit. Fingers crossed. Nice. Which nets us a potion of barkskin. Okay. Of course, we'll want to save that for a particularly tough-looking fight. No point in wasting it on things like dogs. Or the rats, really, because rats don't use conventional attack rolls. They just automatically hit you if you start your turn inside their radius. So Barkskin would be completely useless again. Oh, shoot.
Please, focus.
Wait, that one's not in combat yet. Okay, I can work with that. Well, now it's definitely not in combat.
Oh, got you!
Oh, hey, Record's got hideous laughter. Right, I've been running with Walja for so long that I forgot tieflings can come in other flavors. It is also kind of interesting to note that, despite Record and Walja both being chaotic neutral, they are two very different people. I appreciate that. I was slightly concerned when I saw that our companion for the DLC was going to be another tiefling rogue. Ooh, I want that, but... Yep, that's what I thought. This is very much a proceed with caution sort of scenario. I'm sure that's fine. There's still plenty of rats in that swarm. I think we can actually use this stage to our advantage, because unless they've suddenly learned how to jump up and down small ledges, they would have to go all the way around to the stairs to get to us from here. Let me just make sure there's not more enemies back there. Gotta say, Record, I was really hoping you would land that shot. But it's fine. I got your back. And your front. Nice. I mean, not the decapitating a dog part, but the, Actually, that wasn't nice. I'm sorry, doggo. Alright, let's kite that rat swarm around the stage. Those things move slow, so it'll take at least 3 or 4 turns for it to get to us.
You're not a threat. You're an obstacle.
And here they come. Rek, I'm going to need you to be slightly more reliable. Oh, what? Why is... Can they actually get through here? They cannot. What are they doing? Oh, I see. Grim is still in stealth, so they can't see him. But their pathfinding still knows that the choke point we set up in is blocked. So they're trying to get to record, but the pathfinding can't actually find a way to do that. Not gonna lie, that is super cheesy, but I feel like cheese is a good way to deal with rats, so I think we'll allow it.
It's you or me.
I like the rats that occasionally spiral off into oblivion.
Oh, got you!
And it's done. A hard-fought victory indeed. Don't worry, I'm not gonna cheese my way through the whole DLC. That was a one-time thing. Staunton Vhane, hero of Mendev. A comic farce in 3 acts. Sure, why not? Wait, did we just get 50 experience points for picking that up? Because I don't think we got that for the fight. I'll have to keep an eye on that. See if we get more XP next time we pick up a lore item. Anyway. Staunton Vhane, hero of Mendev. A comic farce in 3 acts. Scene 1. A brothel. Oh, 'tis morning. What a sweet dream I've had. Night watch is far more bearable a task when one performs it here in a bed of warmth, and not outside in rain and hail and cold. Oh, Staunton, dearest, you're awake already? Don't say you're leaving me again. Please stay. Oh, how I wish for you to spend just 1 more hour here, or maybe a whole day. You may be short of stature, my sweet hero, but 'tis the size of your valor that's beguiled me. Alas, my love, I heed the trumpet's call. Such is a soldier's lot, one cannot stay in bed. Nay, one has to go on duty on occasion. It saddens me to leave you now, my dovelet. But that's the sacrifice I make, in nation's name. And scene. Scene 2. An army warehouse. Oh, woe is me! Why all of this misfortune? While I was boldly, watchfully asleep, nestled in the bosom of my companion in arms, my every snore a ward against ne'er-do-wells. Connivingly, they struck me in the back. They broke into the warehouse proper and took it all, and left no scrap behind. What do? This plight is bound to earn me a conviction and a prison cell, and lashes. Wait, could it be? Idea! I'll go on a crusade post-haste. I hear that lots of folks like me is fearless and as pure of heart, fight demons there and shed their blood a-plenty, all for their homeland's hopes of peace. Mayhaps then none will wonder where I served and what great feats I committed along my noble path. So be it. Mendev, meet your new Crusader hero. And scene. Really well done, playwrights. Kudos. It's like Staunton was right here. Sounds just like him. I will say, though, I went into this really expecting it to be pretty cruel, and Well, they definitely poke fun at him. They impugn his origin and all. That was a lot less heavy-handed than I really expected it to be. Especially after that thing with Prelate Halrun. Plus, we maybe got 50 experience out of it, so well worth our time, I think. Now back to our daring escape. Already in progress. Oh, I wonder if we could have used that trap to help with the rats. Well, no, because classically enemies go right through traps. So that wouldn't be very intuitive. More healing juice. Very nice. And tools, which we can use to remove those boards on the escape route. And I'll bet that's what the rope is for. We'll need that to get down the hole. $9 XP for the trap. I would like to take a closer look at that room. As we saw here, there was something hidden behind all these enemies, so there might be something hidden in there too. Yeah, let's go have a quick look.
We must act.
We'll let Rackert take point on this one.
Agreed.
Oh, what? Yeah. Yes, we've got loot in there, but we've also got a pile of rats right in the way. Let's see if we can snake in there, grab the loot, and then duck back out before it comes back. Oh, shoot, no, that's...
I've survived worse.
And now we're fighting. Cool. That's what I wanted. Rek, why don't you maybe pop out into the hall here? One sec. Yes, and hideous laughter. That'll come in handy too. Alright, Grim. Counting on you here, buddy. I'll take it. Okay, sure.
You're not a threat. You're an obstacle.
You're killing me, Record. Yes, Grim. Thank you. Oh, that was far less painful than I thought it would be. Okay. Let's see what that one gets us. More potions and... camping supplies. Wait, can we actually set up camp here? No, of course not. It wouldn't make sense. But we must be able to at some point, or they wouldn't give that to us. Which does make sense. I mean, if we were running spellcasters, we would need to refresh our spells every once in a while.
Using clever tactics now?
There's a sturdy-looking door in front of you that's locked. You hear someone snoring on the other side. The people behind the door are fast asleep. Judging by the snoring, sniffling, and smacking of lips, there were at least 3 people in there. Having a little snooze, the pigs. Record swears under his breath as he peeks through the keyhole. If they wake up, we might not be able to handle them all at once. I wish we could smother them in their sleep, but the door is locked. Maybe we should wedge it shut with something from this side to keep them in there? I mean, if they're all sleeping, I feel like this is a good time to get in there and take them out. The door opens without a sound. The cultists are snoring peacefully, unaware of the danger. Granted, this isn't exactly a lawful approach, but that's what Record's here for. Oh. Pyromaniac and a sorcerer. Those are both bad news. Let's go for the pyro first. But we'll also put Grim on the sorcerer. With any luck, we can drop all 3 of these guys before they even know what's happening.
They think us easy prey.
And of course, Record flubs the opening shot. Guy's like a broken record. Alright, we're in it. Let's do this.
It's you or me.
Pyro's down. Oh crap, you're a caster too. Sorcerer's down. We're actually in pretty good shape here. Oh yeah, this guy's trying to pop Record with Ray of Frost. That's not going to get him very far. Well, that was embarrassing for them.
You're not half bad.
Yeah, see, Record is basically immune to most conventional cantrips. Ooh, and we got a Masterwork Dagger. Now, if only we could find a better ranged weapon. Really? No Alchemist Fire on the Pyro? Hey, 100 XP. For accomplishing an objective? Really wish they'd make that a little clearer. You're looking at the hastily boarded up, heavy door. You hear voices coming from the other side. The wooden door looks hefty and the craftsmanship solid. It's not something one can break with their bare hands. Speak for yourself. You can't make out any words, but the cultists are clearly having a good time. You hear bits of crude speech, strained screams, and shrill cackling. The door is boarded up tight. The only way to get into the auditorium is to break it down. We've got the tools, so I guess we could open it, but we shouldn't. It leads to the auditorium where the whole cultist gang is. It's in our best interest for it to stay shut. I agree for now. I don't like the idea of leaving people in potential distress, but we're lawful, not lawful good. And we already made promises to help other people escape. Plus to help with Record's thing, although we already know he doesn't succeed because it was Vex who ended up taking care of the entire Tower of Estrid thing. Llamzon. Don't mind me, ma'am. Just securing the room real quick before we have our chat. No exits, no loot. Okay, let's talk. Don't come any closer! The hoarse warning is barked out with authority, the voice of someone who is used to giving orders. The speaker, however, does not look in the least bit intimidating. An aged dwarf woman in blood-stained clothes. Her face has been bandaged with a filthy rag. You've already caused enough trouble to be hanged thrice over. Escort me to safety, and I will be willing to plead extenuating circumstances when the court hands down your inevitable punishment. Wow, what a deal. I'll get right on that. Record's eyes dart toward the hallway. Quiet, he whispers. We're friends. You keep hollering like that, and the cultists will come bump us all off. Friends? I think not. You sound more like a street ruffian than a decent townsman. She makes no attempt to lower her voice. Oh, thank goodness we invested in diplomacy. Madam, I assure you, we are prisoners here just as you are. But not for much longer if things go as planned. It's not a trick, is it? The dwarf's voice still sounds skeptical, but at least she pipes down. Very well, I'm going with you. Help me out of this place, and I'll see to it that you receive an award for your efforts. Well, that is much appreciated, but entirely unnecessary. One thing at a time, let's get you to the stage where it's safer. We can work out the rest of the details once we've caught our breath. That's right. Come on, follow me. We'll get those old bones of yours out of this hellhole. The elderly dwarf adjusts the rag covering her eyes with brisk equanimity, as though it is an everyday part of her attire. Well, I suppose I underestimated you young people. My apologies. I understand that you're planning an escape? Marvelous. I'm coming with you. Fortunately, back when my eyes were still intact, I happened to notice a certain detail that might now prove to be our salvation. This here gal's made of strong stuff. You can barely stand, but you sound like a military commander. Who are you, anyway? a-Frada Llamzon, Special Inspector of the City Council. There is steel in her voice. She is obviously used to instilling fear in crooked functionaries with her name alone. When this whole upheaval began, I was here at the theater, conducting an inspection, and I had uncovered a number of egregious cases of misappropriation of funds. It is commendable that you've helped me out of the basement, but now your duty as good citizens demands that you help me deliver my report to the town hall. Embezzlement of public funds must not go unpunished. I feel like we have slightly higher priorities, but... Wait, the theater was stealing public funds? In a most outrageous manner. Every year the city would allocate vast sums to the theater's renovation, and yet the cracks all over the building only multiplied. The chandeliers in the auditorium are barely hanging on. They could fall at any moment. The costumes, which are recorded as being made from satin and velvet, were actually, if you can believe it, pieces of colored paper glued together. Shameful. Wait, back up a moment. You're a worshipper of Abadar? I'm not a cleric, if that's what you're asking. It was. I serve the Judge of the Gods from my own place in the town hall. Well, shoot, for a second there I thought we might have actually found a healer. What happened to your eyes? I tried appealing to those scoundrels' conscience. Well, to be precise, it is quite obvious that they possess no conscience. But I, at very least, tried to awaken their fear of legitimate authority. Don't they realize that the Mendevian army is about to enter the city, and that every one of them will hang? She reaches for the rag covering her face, but then jerks her hand back. They splash some caustic filth in my face. I do believe it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me on an inspection visit. But it's nothing an experienced cleric can't fix. Wow, she really is tough as nails. Impressive. And I see no reason to question her dedication to duty. That's impressive as well. So before they melted your eyes out, you mentioned seeing something else we might be able to use to escape? Correct. There is some manner of undocumented well down in the orchestra pit. Abadar knows where it came from, but the theater solution was quite slipshod. They simply covered it up with a pile of junk. That's an accident waiting to happen if I ever saw one. Some poor musician could trip and break their neck. Well, right now we can use this travesty to our advantage. Judging by the draft coming in through the cracks in the floor, the well must lead to the caves under the city. The old girl's idea is solid. Record scratches at his stubble. If we escape through the cave, nobody will find us. The question is, how do we open that well without alerting every cultist in the auditorium? Whatever, we'll think of something. Okay, so that's not the same hole we were looking at, the one in the backstage area. So in theory, we now have at least 3 potential exits. Alright, so we've cleared pretty much the entire backstage. And then this over here, this is the orchestra pit. We just have to go through the basement. Then we can look for that hidden well. Let's see if our allies have anything new for us. And there it is. Okay, so yes, we can ask him to help us clear the backstage exit. But we should really check out the well before we commit. Oh, hey, we can actually see the cultists. And man, yeah, that's a pretty overwhelming fight for 2 first-level characters. On the bright side, there aren't any captives over there to worry about, so I don't have to feel bad about just ignoring these guys. We would miss out on potential loot, but we wouldn't miss XP, since they're not rewarding combat. I don't see that being worth the risk. And there's our well, which is right in front of them. That's a potential problem. Okay, so Lingrat is our distractor, which could potentially help us with the well. Let's have a closer look real quick. Was there anything else in the basement we didn't do? And back to stealth. We didn't aggro those guys on the way out, so I'm not sure they can actually see us down here. I just don't want to take any chances. A pile of junk. According to Freda, underneath it is a well leading to freedom. You would have never spotted it, but you can indeed just about make out the outline of a heavy trap door under the junk pile. Clearing this pile of junk would be easy if we weren't in plain view of the cultists. We need to distract them, or our escape will be over before it even gets started. The cultists in the room pay you no mind, but they can still see you clear as day. Any attempt to unblock the trap door will be instantly spotted. What's the best way to distract them? Okay, so they can see us, they just don't care what we do, as long as they think we're trapped. That's fair. Like, narratively, it makes sense. Let's go have another chat with our allies, see what new options have opened up. Nothing from Freda, but that's fair. I mean, she is blind. How about you, Langrat? We found a trap door in the orchestra pit, but we'll need a distraction to get it open. Oh, the exit is right under their noses. You know, they installed a magical auto-prestidigitator here the other day. Fancy that. They don't have the money to repair the floor, but they did have enough for that thing. And how is this anti-prostrator going to help us? It's auto-prestidigitator. It's a complex magic device that creates various effects. You know, the light of dawn, flashes of lightning, morning mist, dragon fire. I think I can use it to distract them. But you'll need to work very quickly, or else they'll spot me tinkering with it and I'll be done for. Oh, that's okay then. That's a much safer alternative to where I thought this was going. Well, nothing specifically about helping us move the junk, but it does specify the orchestral pit, so I think we're good to go. Alright, let's face the music. Risky business, that. Ah well, still better than staying. Let's do this. That's the spirit, Vamir. You gather in the orchestra pit. Well, here goes. Everyone knows the plan, right? Yeah, the violinist gets his magic doohickey up and running and distracts the cultists while we clear the way. Then, down we go. And good luck finding us. Wait, I'm not ready. I can't do it. I don't have enough time. They'll kill me. They'll kill me, you hear? Get a grip, you milksop. You stay with these butchers, you're dead anyway. But if you help us escape, there's a chance for you to make it out. If you don't, we all die here. Hell, I'll wring your neck before the cultists get the chance, you sniveling coward. Staring Langrat down, Record raises his fist. Milksop? You don't! White as a sheet, Langrat nods. All right, I'll do it. I'll do anything, just don't hurt me. Does anyone have a rope? It's going to be a difficult climb down. Who knows what's down there? Rocks, slime, metal rods from the foundations? Safety precautions must always be observed. Otherwise, we'll get away from the cultists, but we won't get far. Our escape will end at the bottom of this here well. The old gal actually makes a good point. And we've got just the rope. Okie dokie. Time to stage our escape. You secure the rope. Now the way down will be much safer once you've cleared the way through the trap door. Ready to rock. Let's do it.
Wait, wait!
And just like that, we're out. I've got to say, I really thought that would be a bit more involved. I was expecting more theatrical hijinks. Honestly, I could have seen the entire DLC taking place in one grand theater. But I guess they didn't want it to overstay its welcome. So now it's on to the cave crawling and tunnel running portion of our adventure. Not sure if we'll actually end up making it to the Defender's Heart, because like I said earlier, Record completing his current quest to deliver the warning to Irabeth is incompatible with what we already know happened. In the mainstream continuity, Vex is the one who ended up warning her about the impending cultist attack, and he's the one who told her to up the guard. That does give me the impression that, despite their best efforts, something will ultimately end up waylaying our would-be heroes here. That said, we are just hitting time, and a scene break like this is an obvious place to call it, so we'll hit the pause button for now. We'll make sure our guys are ready for the next leg of their journey, and we'll pick up here next time. I am very much looking forward to seeing what comes next, though I'd put my money on giant insect. But we'll see. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game and its DLC by visiting the official websites. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon, the YouTube memberships, or the Nexus GG page. Links are in the description.
The mission must be carried out.